Hey, it's Ben here. We're back at the D'Addario booth focusing on Evans drumheads with Harmony Central 2014 NAMM. So those of you who are familiar with Level 360, what we've done throughout the course of 2013 is change the collar design on all of our tom and snare drum heads in order to allow you to spend more time focusing on playing, less time on tuning. How we've done that? It's all about the collar. It's all about the outside profile of our drum heads. You'll see I've got an array of different toms here, all 12-inch toms from different manufacturers, some wonderful different manufacturers. I've got a Yamaha, a Sonar, a Pearl, a Gretsch, a Star Classic from Tama, and Mapex. Everyone's got a different approach to their bearing edges and how they design their shells. And unfortunately, in the past we've seen with some other drum heads, there's not necessarily a great level of fit there. We have to go through a lot of headache in order to get the heads to seat appropriately across the shells. So you'll see here, you notice how this head is not quite sitting completely flush with the bearing edge, and that's because this profile on the outside here is actually constricting the head and preventing it from coming in direct contact with the bearing edge. Now, if we show how the Level 360 has offered an increased degree of fit, you'll notice I set the head down on here and it floats nicely, freely on there, perfect contact on every side. It's not rocking back and forth. What this means, this ease of fit is going to come across in an ease of tuning. Now obviously we want to spend more time playing, less time tuning, and we've all struggled with getting that drum to sound perfect, you know, whether it's one tom in your setup or the full kit, and really agonizing over how to get the drums to sound the way you want them to sound so you can focus on playing. Level 360's done that over the course of the past year for toms and snare heads. Now we're excited to be able to tell you that we've brought it to bass drum heads. Same issues exist here, and you'll see, show you with another drum head how unfortunately in the past the fit has not necessarily been exactly desirable. And you'll notice how it shifts around, doesn't quite sit flat on the bearing edge. And what that can mean, especially on the bass drum side of things, is sacrifice low end, because to compensate for that, what you end up having to do is apply pressure to the middle. Always seen people do, press hard right down the center there, even standing on the drum heads, cracking the glue. All of these processes have been developed in order to be able to basically compensate for the lack of the drum head's ability to sit completely flush with the bearing edge. So what we've done is taken the same principles with Level 360 on tom and snare heads and now applied them to all of our bass drum heads. So throughout the course of 2014, be looking for this right here. You'll see sitting completely flush on the bearing edge all the way around, completely level on the shell, 360 degrees around the drum head. Now, once again, this ease of fit translates to an ease of tuning, and you don't need to over-tension the head in order to get it to seat. Obviously, when it comes to bass drum heads, we're looking for more sound, more low end. This is going to allow for that because you're not going to be sacrificing that low end and over-tensioning. It's going to be much more pitch stable, be able to get a much faster sound out of that drum, tuning it up and taking it just slightly above a wrinkle and getting it to the point where there's a whole lot of low end. Your 18 is going to sound like a 20-inch, 20 is going to sound like a 22, so on and so forth. Basically making those drums sound bigger and more powerful. So keep an eye out for Level 360 on bass drum heads coming throughout the course of 2014. Have a wonderful NAMM.